Drummer's been chilling out on the cat shelf for the past half hour, and I don't know how long he's going to sit there. He's been very good. He really likes to just sit quietly for quite a long time all by himself without interruption. I'm hoping he'll just sit there so that I can video him on the perch. I'm trying to move just a little further back so that you can see all of him. There we go. That should work. Now, hopefully he's going to sit there for a while, although obviously he's changed his mind. His father, Draydl, is sitting on the shelf below him, and Girlie Girl's trying to knock the camera out of my hand. No, Girlie, back off, please. Well, it looks like Drummer's decided to sit there for another couple of minutes. We'll see how long he decides to stay in one place. He's a lot of fun to watch because he's never quite still unless he's falling asleep. And of course, like I said, his daddy is on the lower shelf. So he's been looking down at him. But he loves to look out the window. You can see that. Since we have yard cats, there's usually entertainment out there. If one of the yard cats decides to come along and check out the inside cats, which does happen occasionally, the outside cats are George, who is a big striped guy, Targa, who has obviously a target on his side. He's a classic domestic short hair, patterned like an American. And then there's our Calico, who I call Callie, and our old gal. Our local feeders call her Fluffy or Fuzzy, but I call her Mama Cat. She's been around for years. I can't even remember when she wasn't here. The yard cats get fed twice a day, just like the indoor cats. The rescue team feed them once a day out by the driveway, and once a day I put food on the back stoop for them. They get the same food as the indoor cats. Right now we're feeding Purina, although I often add table scraps, which there aren't many of in this house, but they also get beef, ground beef, raw, and they get ground chicken or turkey, raw, also. Now, this past week, I gave them a hamburger that I had bought from Peapod, which is Stop and Shop, and they wouldn't touch it. I don't know why, but apparently either they didn't like it or it wasn't any good. I don't know. It had come out of the freezer, and I thawed it properly, but the cats had no interest in it whatsoever. They kind of nosed it aside. And I had to give them a can of canned food, of course, because they wouldn't eat the fresh meat. The same thing happened with ground turkey that I bought at King Cullen the other day. Perfectly fresh, very good people food. Anything that I would put on the table or any other person would. And I thought it wasn't frozen. I brought it to room temperature and put it out on their plate, and they wouldn't touch it. I have no idea why, but I know there wasn't anything wrong with it. It was perfectly fresh. It was human food. And there shouldn't have been a problem with it. But apparently there was, because the cats wouldn't touch it. So, we're back to canned food, which they love. I'm feeding Friskies at the moment. It happens to be an item I can buy in bulk and that I can afford right now. Sometimes they get Science Diet and sometimes they don't. Well, I never get tired of watching Drummer. He's always entertaining to watch. Whether he's sitting perfectly still or when he's running around, which, believe it or not, does happen. Sometimes Drummer runs up and down the stairs chasing another cat and playing. But most of the time, Drummer just prefers to sit, just like he's doing now. He hasn't been on the cat tree in a while, so it's kind of neat to see him doing this close up. Right, Drummer? What's outside? Anything? No? There's nothing new? Are you just going to sit here and watch the world go by? That's a Drummer thing. He just loves to sit and watch the world go by. He doesn't have to participate in order to be happy. Many cats don't need to participate to be happy. But I wonder if Drummer knew that George is sitting right almost outside the window on the patio, whether he'd still be sitting here looking at the camera. Let me see if I can get a look at George. George! Let's see, can I get George in this picture? There's George. It's blurry, but that was George who just walked by. And I suspect George is going to the back stoop to see if there are any new goodies out there. Right, Draydl? All right, Drummer. Drummer's being a wonderful performer today. Right, Drum? Drummer, you good boy? Yes. Drummer's a very good boy. Look at that look on his face. Now he's got his eyes on Girlie Girl, who's approaching. But Drummer's not in the least bit disturbed. He's just going to sit right where he is for as long as he wants, because Drummer is the boss. He's the heavyweight in the house, and all it takes is one paw on one of the other cats, and that's the end of that. Please subscribe. I'll see you again soon, I hope. Take care now. Have a good day.